Oh my god, guys, it's the news everybody has been waiting for. There's a new trilogy for Star Wars in the works. They're continuing on the Skywalker Saga, and you know what? It makes an awful lot of sense, because we heard this news a little bit earlier. I think this was back in October or something like that. It might have been back in October, maybe late September, when we heard rumblings that, ooh, maybe that Rey movie is getting shuttered, okay? Stephen Knight, the screenwriter, yeah, man, he can't quite work on that Rey movie. He's got too much on his plate, setting up a new studio in Los Angeles and working on the Peaky Blinders movie that he can't work on. Let me check. Oh, a Star Wars Episode 10 script. There used to be a point in time where that would have been the most coveted position for anybody in the world, but as you can see, and if you recall, there are how many different Star Wars projects in development? Rian Johnson's supposed to be having a trilogy. I find that to be completely hilarious, right? Like, they just announced, okay? They just announced that this is going to be the continuation. This is going to be episodes 10, 11, and 12. And Rian Johnson, okay, the architect of The Last Jedi, episode 8's very own, he's not being brought back into the fold to continue the story? I find that funny, okay. Dan and Dave, what are they doing? I thought Three Body Problem, you know, that was such a great success for Netflix earlier this year that nobody's talking about it at all whatsoever. Taika Waititi, what are you doing out there, bro? You're not coming back? Oh, okay, cool. You got 5 other projects ahead of it. I understand. You're a very busy man. Patty Jenkins didn't want to do anything anymore for Star Wars? She's working, don't worry, it's going to be great. That Rogue Squadron movie, it's going to be fantastic. They had to bring in somebody who has the resume that lets you know, oh boy, this is gonna suck ass, because you've got Simon Kinberg rather, and of course, right? And looking through his IMDb page, bro, it's really just letting you know that nothing's changing over there at Lucasfilm, bro. These are not going to be good films, okay? Especially because Lucasfilm has closed the deal with Simon Kinberg to develop a trilogy of Star Wars films. Kinberg will write the trio and produce them with Lucasfilm chief Kathleen Kennedy. No, bro, her contract's up at the end of October, and she's going to be leaving anytime soon. She just locked herself in for at least another decade. Star Wars is so fucking dead, dude. Now, this is from Mike Fleming, the author of this article right here. Okay, so when it says I, that means him, not me. I have nothing at all to say about this. I heard this will comprise episodes 10 through 12 of the Skywalker Saga that began, yes, in 1977, and that's all right, okay? And that's why the sequel and the sequel trilogy can be awful, because the original trilogy was always bad. I love how these revisionists just, you know, make excuses for these subpar products that have been on display ever since Disney has purchased the property. No. Star Wars has always sucked. It's like, shut your ass, bro. You're grasping at straws. Nobody believes you. Insiders disputed my intel that Kinberg will continue the storyline, saying this instead will be the beginning of a new saga. Yeah, and sit alongside percolating Star Wars projects, as with James Mangold, who's supposed to be doing, yes, his Dawn of the Jedi, and Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, Taika Waititi, and Donald Glover. All right, yeah, he's working on Orlando something or other. That's another thing. Yeah, as usual, Lucasfilm and Disney are not commenting. And at least at this point in time, right, it's possible that they could, mostly because D23 is happening this weekend, and maybe there's already news. Maybe this video is already out of date, because we've heard from somebody down there in Sao Paulo, Brazil. We just think that, you know, maybe they would wait to make this announcement after some of the promotion of The Mandalorian and Grogu, because that's supposed to hit theaters this time next year. I'm pretty sure on that one, that you might wait to wrap all of that stuff up, or at least see how that's going to perform, and then try to use that as a hot baton to pass it off to episode 10, and then take that, and then once again try to restart their whole, there's a Star Wars film coming out every year, so at Mandalorian and Grogu, and then go episode 10, and then do Dave Filoni's wrap-up movie, or maybe just try to spin that into 2 so that you could bifurcate, or in this case, trifurcate the new trilogy, having part 1 of, I don't know, Thrawn comes back to the galaxy, and oh no, we need to assemble a big team. We need to have Luke Skywalker mentor Ahsoka Tano, the main character of Star Wars, moving forward, so that they, you know, after episode 11, then they can conclude that story, and then by the time that, you know, we're getting closer to the heat death of the universe, then episode 12 can come out, and Rey can, I don't know, blow up another Death Star, because these creatively bankrupt assholes have no creativity at all whatsoever. But yes, Kinberg previously worked with Lucasfilm in co-creating with Dave Filoni and Carrie Beck the Emmy-nominated animated series Star Wars Rebels. Yeah, the one that everybody everybody thought was ass. That's great. And also ran 4 seasons, yes, of it in 2014 to 2018. He was also a consultant for The Force Awakens. Yeah, that is aged like milk. And there's this connection with JJ. I was looking for it beforehand. It's like, yep, there it is. He also has been heavily involved in other franchises, a writer and a producer. Yeah, a lot of the stuff that are going to get thrown out there as credits for him is when he's a producer. Okay, so taking a look at his writing credits, this is where it's like, oh, this is going to suck. Because, okay, yeah, here you have his IMDb page up, and that's the first thing that I did, and you might see one name that's right there, and it's like, oh, God, no. But everything that they're going to give him credit for, right? Like, oh, my God, he was nominated for an Oscar, bro, and he's known for The Martian. You know, people like that. Logan, oh, my God, that was great. The Fen Four Stick, oh God, and the Dark Phoenix, oh God. But yeah, no, when he's a producer, oh my God, so many things. He was an executive producer on Deadpool and Wolverine, and Sugar, Lift, Invasion, Death in the 350. Okay, precipitous drop off, but it's like, okay, cool. We care about your writing, bro. How about when you were a writer? Can we go ahead and look at that? And yeah, that's well, his upcoming projects, you can see why he got tabbed for Star Wars. It's because he doesn't really have a lot on the go right there. But his previous scripts, I mean, bro, he wrote the reboot of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Holy shit, bro, that was bad. Okay, previously mentioned Invasion, 355, Dark Phoenix. That motherfucker wrote Dark Phoenix, huh? Oh, X-Men Apocalypse, Fanforstic, you know, Days of Future Past. You know, can't really hold that against him. I liked Sherlock. Yeah, Sherlock Holmes, that's Robert Downey Jr. one, but that was back in 2009, bro. Like, the last time this guy did anything of merit, 2014. He wrote XXX, State of the Union, the original Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and the bad original X-Men. He wrote X-Men 3. Everybody laughs at that shit. Like, this is a resume of failure. So, of course, he got hired at Disney. And, of course, he's now going to be one of Kathleen Kennedy's go-to boys. New report claims that Simon Kinberg, the writer for box office disasters Dark Phoenix and 355, that got a theatrical release. I've never heard of that shit in my entire life, okay? Like, honestly, like, who was even in that? Okay, indulge me for a second. I legitimately haven't heard of that. Jessica Chastain, Penelope Cruz, Bin Bang Bong. What the fuck, man? Yo, what the hell are we doing? I've legitimately never heard of this before. And Kathleen Kennedy seen shit like this. Oh, of course, yeah, because it's an all-female cast. It's a big female ensemble. And he's like, yeah, perfect for Star Wars. She's bound and determined to kill this shit. Deadlines, Mike Fleming Jr. shared that this trilogy will promise episodes 10 through 12. However, he also noted insider disputed by Intel that Kinberg will continue the storyline, instead of beginning a new saga to sit alongside everything else, because who the fuck knows what they're doing. While Fleming notes that Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy and Taika Waititi's movies are percolating, it's likely these films are dead. Or perhaps they'll just get worked in. Okay, Sharmeen will start off with 10, Taika get 11, and actually, I'd like to make an announcement right now. I've actually been tapped for episode 12. I know, right? My distinguished catalog of over 5,000 YouTube videos has more than qualified me to direct a hell, it's the first billion-dollar Star Wars movie. Not that it's going to make that much at the theater. Now, who knows? This sequel trilogy could end up making $1 billion at the cinema, okay? At this point in time, that might actually be a high watermark for them. But no. I'm going to be demanding a $1 billion budget for episode 12 because, by God, we're going to need it. Holy shit, man. What the fuck are we doing? But yes. Back in August, Matt McGloin at Cosmic Book News reported that Taika Waititi's film is not happening. We talked about that before. Conversations I've had with insiders at recent Comic-Con have informed me that Taika Waititi is definitely not doing his Star Wars film at Lucasfilm. He also adds, as actually told, yes, by an insider, that Leslie Headland is done at Lucasfilm. Yeah, because she got another job. Guess what? Imagine that. Somebody who wasted $230, $250, $300 million of Lucasfilm money. It was $230 with the budget of The Acolyte, and then it was another at least $70 million of marketing on top of that. That's how you come to that number. She ended up getting tabbed by somebody else, and now she has a star-studded movie because nobody ever fails out of Hollywood. This is why they're never going to learn their fucking lessons, okay? And that's why them exposing themselves right now in the wake of the Trump presidency. Hell, you're doing us all a great favor. You think that you're out there trying to save the universe by trying to shame everybody by their poor voting choices, but in reality, you're just letting everybody else know who you are so that they know to avoid any projects that you're doing into the future. As for YTD is out, McGloin's insider informed him that his dude Love and Thunder, yes, is sucking a bag of dicks, and his response in the aftermath. McGloin then declared, my insiders have said, yes, as a result, YTD is out at Lucasfilm and not doing a Star Wars movie. What a great loss that's right there. But As for the Charmin Obaid-Chinoy film with Daisy Ridley, it is reported in October by Matthew Belloni at Puck. Screenwriter Stephen Knight is off the new Jedi Order project, and yeah, that's why I brought up that video that's right there of Daisy Ridley saying that the Rey project is evolving. It's evolving, and it's definitely still happening. It's definitely going to be coming down, okay? And that's why if we hear anything at D23 this weekend, that would be very interesting. I think that they might be jumping the gun, mostly because Star Wars Celebration is going to be taking place in April of next year over in Japan. And I think that, you know, given the fact that they took 2023 off, I think we're going to be hearing an announcement of it in April. Okay, that's very, very likely because there's nothing on the plate. There's nothing on the schedule for them to start filming or anything like that. And Kathleen Kennedy, knowing that she's going to be at the forefront of this, she brought Daisy Ridley and Charmin Obaid-Chinoy up there on stage. They're just going to go there and reaffirm that, yep, the Rey movie is going to happen. And in fact, it's going to be a continuation of the Rey Skywalker story. Who's excited? And crickets. Do it. Please do it, because in the world of content creation, job security is a very difficult thing to come by. And if Star Wars has this roadmap going forward, brother, I can breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief knowing what a dumpster fire we're going to be in for. Oh, I've been re-energized with this Trump presidency and Star Wars and Disney Lucasfilm in particular making bad decision after bad decision. Oh, it really does. It's just like anger to a Sith. It fuels me. It fuels me and it gives me life. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.